out of this discussion that I wanted to let devotees contemplate on what other things that Narad Muni was trying to be grateful for, right? Chanchalpati Prabhu had very kindly shared the notes for what are things that we discussed last time as feeling a sense of gratitude, right? Maybe we can look at it. Prabhu has already nicely said, given the points. What was that? I think on Wednesday, he posted his notes. Some reasons for feeling gratitude towards Krishna were discussed. So he's saying, first point, of course, these are all points we discussed in the group. The first point is Krishna is continuously inspiring us to worship him and to engage in devotional service. This is his greatest mercy. As a loving father, he sometimes stays away or makes himself invisible so that we may hanker more for him. So the point is that Krishna is so merciful that he wants to increase our love. By the point is that when we increase, Krishna wants us to increase our love so that we will feel more blissful. Because when we increase our love for Krishna, which is, of course, gratitude is one of the foremost driving force behind that. We feel more blissful. And seeing us being more blissful, the Lord becomes more blissful. That's how the Father, as I said, Supreme Father is doing that. So, how much Krishna is loving us itself is a source of gratitude for us to be grateful. Because unless he loves us, he would not want us to love him more. Isn't it? Krishna loves us so much. That is why he wants us to love him more. Why? Because he wants us to be more joyful, more blissful. There is no other way in this world where we can be blissful other than loving Krishna. Isn't it? Is there any other way that is better than loving Krishna by which we can be more blissful? By executing sincere devotional service, which is a manifestation of our love, or is the outcome of our love for Krishna, isn't it? That is the only way we can be the most joyful, and that's the only reason Krishna is making us, inspiring us to worship him, engage in his devotional service. That itself is a great reason for being grateful, because it looks like he may be a little bit unfavorable to us, or a little bit rough with us. What is that? I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly in his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. Right? He is my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Right? I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly in his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present with me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. This is the Sikshashtakam, last verse, isn't it? So that's the first point that Prabhuji had. We just do a little recap and then go further. More points to discuss on the gratitude part. Will try. Service, second point, service and the Lord are identical. Therefore, we do not have to run around to see the Lord. We simply have to continue serving. Through service, we can experience the presence of Krishna. Krishna has made himself present in service, right? So this is another reason for being grateful, right? What Krishna is doing in effect is that you may not be able to come before me all the time. So I am coming before you in all these different ways and means. That is why when we see, when we do sincere service, actually Krishna is Krishna is giving the bliss. The fact that when we are doing service, we are feeling blissful is because Krishna is present there. Krishna is present in the form of that service. Krishna is present in the form of the inspiration. Krishna is present in the form of the person who is receiving that service. Right? Krishna is everything. So that is the beautiful point that this is a very novel point that Prabhupada is bringing out in the purport, which is service and Lord are identical. That's the second point for which we have to be grateful to Krishna for. And we discussed about the different kinds of services where you are not directly standing in front of Krishna or sitting in front of Krishna, like say cooking service or shoe stand or parking service or driving service. There are so many services where you cannot be Krishna like in the DT form or even in the form of sitting with Bhagavatam in the class. You may have to be running around and all that. But still, those in the services also Krishna is present in the form of the service. And that way we are grateful to Krishna. That Krishna, you are presenting, so mercifully you are presenting yourself in these different forms. Third point, Krishna has given devotees the ability to experience bliss in service to the extent that we perform service with intensity, to the same extent to experience bliss. By intense service to the Lord, we can feel His transcendental presence. Right? So this is the point, it's the extension of the previous point. So as we continue serving, Krishna gives us the intelligence on how to perform the service in a better way. If we show eagerness to serve, Krishna will show the way. The only requirement is sincere intent. Intense devotion means wanting to serve and being willing to follow the orders of senior Vaishnavas. So this is again Krishna giving us the intelligence on how to perform service in a better way. That is also another reason for being grateful. Because if there is no if the intelligence is not given to do the service in the right way, then we can make a mess and it will become a source of disturbance for others also and for ourselves. I see a point by Piyush Prabhu. Yes, it's one of the hallmark point of Prabhupada's Sanskrit, right? Don't try to see Lord, but serve Him in such a way that He wants to see you. And that is my point about the service. Next. Even if we serve Krishna only for a few days, by His mercy we attain firm and fixed intelligence in Him. Simply by doing so, we can gradually become associates of Krishna. So, see, from starting to serve a little bit here and there, with mixed devotion, whatever, Krishna is so lovingly and mercifully taking us all the way to being His associate eternally. In this world also, in the other world also. And that is another reason for us to be very, very grateful to Him. Right? And yes, next one. And one more thing what Krishna does is intelligence fixed in Krishna through devotion can never be destroyed by anyone or anything. This is another thing that Prabhupada writes in his, I know Krishna himself says and Prabhupada in his translation says that one. I'm writing from so it is not destroyed by during even creation or annihilation. See, who can give such a benediction? The intelligence, if it is invested in me, exact wordings I will read just right. See, intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time. Even at the time of creation as well as the time of annihilation, your remembrance will continue by my mercy. This is an amazing point, really. Because if your intelligence is not destroyed and created, if our remembrance, Krishna is Prabhupada actually, Krishna is telling you, your remembrance will continue by my mercy, which means even while giving up this so-called body also he is remembering. And when he takes the next birth also he is remembering. And he is remembering the previous birth also. Because anyway, the remembrance is not gone. it doesn't mean doesn't mean that you're dead and gone. It only means, like, say for example, you are going from say Bangalore to Pune, or Pune to Delhi, whatever, or Mumbai to Hyderabad, whatever. That moment, what will you tell? That when you come to reach Hyderabad, say, oh, I am coming from Mumbai. 2 days it was very nice, there. And then after coming to Hyderabad, also you talk to those people in Mumbai. I have reached safely here. How are you doing? Like that and all. So, in other words, you are carrying the remembrance from the past place. Then you will not feel like you are dead and born again, isn't it? You will not feel anything like that. So, but if you are totally forgotten that where you come from, then that is a new thing. People have to tell, oh, you come from Mumbai. Oh, where is Mumbai? What is Mumbai? Like that, and somebody is asking. It means it is a fresh thing for him. That is why in the Jadabharat Maharaj's case also, even though he took 3 births, it is actually 1 birth only. It is like part 1, part 2, part 3 of a movie which you are seeing. Isn't it? The continuity is there, isn't it? So it's the same actors who are acting, same director who is directing. It's the same cash box where all the money is going to go, right? There's just that they call it as part 1, part 2, part 3. That's all. It's not 3 movies. It's 1 movie divided into 3. That's all. Right? So Jadabharat Maharaj's case, we keep telling that it's a 3 lives. Actually, it says 1 life divided into 3 parts. Yes, Swapna Mataji.
Prabhuji, he was at the level of bhav, right? So in his case, this can happen. But what will happen in our case?
No. The thing is not about being in the bhava stage or prema stage. Prabhupada himself writes that many times in that path. Anybody who is doing sincere devotional service, for them to continue. Right? Even for Indradyumna, King Indradyumna, when he becomes Gajendra, he remembered the prayers from the past. Right? So it is not about. So basically, this is itself is a big source of Krishna's mercy, token of Krishna's mercy, actually. Right? So it cannot be thwarted, and remembrance will continue by mercy when Krishna says that. See, now I am not remembering my past life, whatever I did. Even the devotion, what I did, I don't remember. But the effect of that devotion we are experiencing. Now we are devotees because of the effect of that devotion. Now we are in this position, whatever Lakshmi or whatever thing that Krishna has given is because of that thing, whatever we did. But only thing is we don't remember it. That's why it looks like it's a new birth and all those things. Suppose you remember that also. Right? It's like suppose you are getting transferred, like usually this bank those who are working in bank, they keep getting transferred every 2-3 years. Those who are working in army, they keep the forces. They will keep shifting every 2-3 years, isn't it? So for them, they will say, oh, 10 years before we were in this place, 20 years, they remember it still. But then that place is gone for them, right? We don't remember. I mean, with those who are staying in one place, you will not have something like that to talk about. So it is actually the stage of bhava or prema is not the primary thing. If we simply do sincere devotion, that's what Krishna is telling, that you will continue to remember. That's why even when Narada Muni is going, he's actually, when he's going to speak to Vyasadeva, he's talking about all his previous births, right? All the way from how he was born from Brahma's thing, from as the son of Brahma, then as that Upabarhana, then from there to the Sudra, as son of a maidservant, and from there to Narad Muni again. He remembers the whole thing because of his sincere devotional service, right? So don't be too much worried about, oh, I am not in bhava, I am not in prema, etc., etc. No, that is not a point at all. That is nothing to worry about it at all. Simply do your sincere devotional service. That's all. Means what? Today I am grateful to Krishna for giving me a chance to associate with devotees, associate with Bhagavatam. I got some little nice points about understanding what is gratitude. What are things that Simply saying feeling a sense of gratitude. How much is behind that? What all things he was grateful for? We need to discuss, we need to contemplate on that. Only then we will understand how to be grateful for what all things that are given to us. Frankly speaking, the situation Krishna has put to Narada Muni in, he should not be feeling grateful at all. He should be cursing Krishna. If we were in Narada Muni's position, we will be cursing Krishna definitely. Right? And you first gave just for the namesake, you gave some little darshan. This is what we will say. Huh? And then you disappeared. Then you just spoke something. After speaking, that also stopped. What am I supposed to do? This is how we will be complaining. But Narada Muni looked into the whole, look into the whole life. What all things that he was grateful for. See here, next point. The more we engage our intelligence in pleasing Krishna or serving him, the more spiritually strong we become. And by his mercy, we are able to remember. So this remembrance is again another mercy, token mercy of Krishna. For that, we should be grateful. Intelligence is one thing. Through the intelligence when you are doing, Krishna is again telling, I will give you the remembrance, by which you can think of whatever things that I contemplate and everything that I have given you. Because Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanamcha. From me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. If Krishna wants, he can make us forget also. But for all the things that we did, still Krishna is making us remember. That itself is a great a mercy upon us. And then, what is the next point we are doing? With mercy, we are able to remember him. Krishna ensures that the intelligence engaged in devotional service is never thwarted. So again, he is making sure that first he is giving the intelligence, for that we have to be grateful. Then he is making sure that intelligence is never destroyed or vanquished. That is again another reason for us to be grateful, isn't it? Otherwise, today I will be doing chanting and everything. Tomorrow morning I will get up and I will be maybe at home. My wife or somebody is coming and giving, take the beads and chant. What is this? What is this bead? What I have to do? If I start having that amnesia, imagine, remember, amnesia comes to everybody. If devotees, they go look at this thing, what is these two people standing, some doll you are keeping. Think of that moment when it happens. I don't know. Swapna Mataji is the only one in on video and she's laughing. It would be nice to see her laughing. Imagine ourselves in that position. Get up and just like if you ask our own father, mother, or wife, or thing, then can you say, who are you? Where am I? Why am I here? Huh? And then it's a beautiful thing. Krishna does not make us forget our language. If he wants to make us forget everything, you can forget, no? We should be forgetting the language also. We should also not know how to speak, what to speak. So Krishna is making us remember that. This is only to irritate all the others who have not lost the memory. Because those are the ones who, like Chitraketu's son, no? He came only to irritate his father and mother. They were thinking so much attached. When he went back, Chitraketu was still having the hope, and Narada Muni said, I will do one mantra and I will bring I will bring him back. As soon as he came, he looked at all these people like an amnesia case. He just looked at all these people, what are they doing? So sitting around me and this. Because at that time, soul is speaking, not the body. Otherwise, normally in normal cases, false ego speaks, ahankar speaks. But in that case, because the subtle body is purified, it goes out of the body. Krishna, Narada Muni brought only the soul, and the soul spoke. Because soul doesn't have any relationship with all these things. It's all made on material relationships. So this is the thing. We have to be grateful to Krishna that he has ensured that our intelligence is also intact. It's not thwarted. So that we can do proper devotional steps. Although we are not qualified to see him, Krishna still makes himself available to us in the form of sound vibration. Krishna also hears what is going on in our mind. This is the point. Krishna hears what is going on in our mind. But the main point is sound. Krishna is present himself in the form of sound vibration. Even if you don't understand anything, if we simply Here the sound vibration will be purified. Because that sound vibration itself is Krishna. We all know that. How many times you have heard it? But we have to realize it. When we chant the holy names, actually we should be realizing that, oh, we are associating with Krishna directly. When we are studying Bhagavatam together in the group of devotees, assembly of devotees, we should be so happy that, oh, we are touching Krishna. Like my Guru Maharaj also used to say that, how do you develop respect for Bhagavatam? First, you think that understand that Bhagavatam is Krishna. If you are given a chance to touch the deities and do abhishekam to the deities or dress the deities, how much grateful we become. Isn't it, Suresh Prabhu? You are in Vella, you are in Vella right now? No, Prabhu? You are not in Vella?
I'm in Solapur now.
Sorry?
I'm in Solapur to see my mother here now. Solapur.
Solapur. Okay. So you are in Solapur. Nice. So, no, I was thinking if you are in Vella, deity services, right? Sometimes devotees ask you to go and, put the Lord to sleep, rest, or something like that. How grateful we be because we are touching the Lord. So that same deity form in the form of mantra deity has come. So when we are touching Bhagavatam itself, we should feel that we are touching Krishna. That is the extent to which Krishna has mercifully come in the form of sound. And when we are reciting, when we are hearing the sound vibration, we should feel that Krishna is entering through the ears. That is the next point of being grateful. Next, Krishna wants us to experience him not only by hearing about him, but also by speaking about him. That is, he's giving us an opportunity to speak also. This is another reason for being grateful, right? Now, this is not done yet. We will discuss more now. What are the reasons that Narada Muni might be feeling grateful for? Remember that he is still in the maid servant son's body, son of the maid servant's body, in that life still, right? That's when he is feeling grateful. After that, he perfects his life and then he becomes Narada Muni. But this particular thing happens, he's narrating the story when he is the son of the maid servant. So, what all things he is feeling grateful for? Start up with the beginning. He got the association of
association of
that itself is the biggest reason to be grateful, isn't it? Without the association of the Bhaktivedanta sages, how he could have got the method to worship and reach Krishna? They blessed him, right? Right. But even before that, he should be grateful for one more thing. What is that?
Uchishtam of the Vedantas.
No, that also there, but before that.
Mother?
He was able to render service.
I would really request someone from the group to put these points in notes, the additional points for feeling of gratitude. I don't know, whoever is taking notes, who are listening later or whatever. I know Chanchalpati Prabhu always does that service, wonderful service. Thanks. I can't express it. We have to have a feeling of gratitude to Chanchalpati Prabhu also, right? For sharing his notes. And and then other devotees for doing the posting the recording or whatever. Anyway, so before that, even what he was grateful for. Yes.
Grateful for a mother who has helped him to be on the devotional path.
Even being born as the son of the maid servant, that mother itself, he was grateful. He was grateful for, because what she was doing, unlike any other person she's a single mother, father passed away or whatever, right? So she was a helpless woman, so she has to work somewhere. She could have worked in so many places, right? But she chose to work in an ashram. Even though she didn't have much knowledge of whatever they were doing, but then she was very humble enough, every day going and cleaning the ashram, watering the trees or plants or whatever that thing that she needs to do. And she took him also along with her. Right? If she was not, and not only that, he was born as a son of, say, maid servant for being for source for gratitude, reason for gratitude. And it's also the fact that she was what is that? Unmotivatedly loving Narad Muni, her own son. It might be, you may call it as a material love or whatever love that is, but still, because of love only, she was taking care of him. She could have thrown him somewhere or neglected him. They were living in the forest anyway, near the ashram. Right? She was protecting him very nicely. And to feed him, she was working in the ashram. And because she was showing the love that he could grow up, right? This is another reason we should be grateful for. Our parents may not be devotees in the way we are thinking to be. But if not for them taking care of us, feeding every day 2 meals or 3 meals or whatever, in those difficult times whatever they had, right? He would not have come to this point. So that love and care of his mother, he was grateful for. And for taking him to the ashram and for her service in the ashram and he allowing him to come to the ashram, that also he should be grateful for. So this is another reason for his gratitude. And now comes the Bhaktivedanta sages. The first thing with Bhaktivedanta sages is who said that Uchishta Lepa. First of all, they allowed him to serve. They could have easily told, hey, you should not come here, go. They could have told like that. But they were very, very kind. That's why he is telling how much grateful he is. In the previous chapter itself, he was earlier of this chapter itself is expressing. Fifth chapter only. He is expressing that, right? Out of mercy, they allowed me to come near them and little service they were giving. That is one reason for gratitude. Then another reason is they allowed him to take that Uchishta Lepa Anumodito Dvijaihi. They gave the permission. Without taking the permission of the devotee, we should not grab from there. Sometimes we do that. Right? Yes, Suresh Prabhuji.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I have heard there are two types of this Uchishta.
Your voice is a little bit distorted. Is it everybody's getting the same thing?
Can you now?
Little bit better,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Hear my voice now? Is it clear now? Hare Krishna.
Somewhat clear. You please go ahead.
So there are two types of Uchishta. There is one is that leftover plates that we can say that is one Uchishta. Another is that when food is cooked and it is served first for the person whom it is cooked. If it is served and all leftover will also be called Uchishta. That's what I heard.
The second one was not very clear, Prabhu. Did anyone hear that clearly? The second part. First part I understood.
That
Hare
food
Krishna
cooked
Prabhupada,
leftover. First is
What I
leftover.
heard-
What is leftover?
what I heard is that first is that the Uchishta which is offered in the plate, and second is if we
Offered and leftover. Offered and
yes
leftover.
from the plate itself, and and second is that we means we put it in the plate and we have kept the cooked in some other utensil. We just serve from that. That is also Uchishta. He is asking whether
Is that
that
what
is
you're saying?
also Uchishta.
Is that what Prabhu said? Maybe Prabhu, Suresh Prabhu, you can type it, Prabhu. If the two types, you can just type it. In the meantime, like in the chat, you can type it. Because it's difficult to, you're making a very, very valuable point, but we are not able to hear you very clearly. I don't know if the second point is the same as what Swapna Mataji said. Anyway, not to worry. So that is, we'll come to that point. But the fact that they allowed him, Anumodito Dvijaihi, the word Anumodita is there, means by their permission. With their permission, they gave the permission for him to take. They could have easily said, no, you should not take. You are not qualified to take. Right? But they allowed him to take mercifully. That is one another reason for being grateful. I asked this question to way back in the US. I think we were. I was talking to Ganapati Swami Maharaj, and we were talking about this verse, and because I remember this another incident where in Chaitanya Charitamrita there is Kalidas, right? He would invite Vaishnavas to his home. He'll feed them nicely. He'll feed so much and all that. And then they have that leaf, no, the banana leaf. They will throw it into the dustbin, and then they will leave. He will, see them off nicely, get a good water. After they go, you silently, he'll go inside and take the from the dustbin and he will eat. So I asked Maharaj, Maharaj, is this allowed? Like, we say Anumodita Dvijai, for the permission of the devotee only we should take. But here he is without the permission, he is stealing. He's stealing in the sense they have thrown it. After they go only, he's doing it. But still it is something like a stealing, right? So then I asked Maharaj, he said, with a smile, he said, yes, if you are really, really greedy for Krishna Bhakti, you can do that. If you're really, really greedy for Krishna Bhakti, you can do that. Krishna will forgive that. Anything and everything possible to do that. Not to worry. So that is a beautiful point which I enjoyed it, because I was telling you can steal if you're really hungry for Krishna, hungry for Bhakti. So many times sometimes devotees try to be artificially this thing, but it's not needed. Yes, Piyush Mahaprabhu was very pleased for that act of he was really greedy for Vaishnava Seva, Vaishnava Mercy, Vaishnava Kripa. Because if we are so much convinced that without Vaishnava's Kripa, we cannot, without Vaishnava's Kripa, we cannot go forward, then we will do this. When I don't have that so much conviction, I will not even want to go for Vaishnava's association, right? And again, the complication that we are facing is somebody will serve in the name of Vaishnavas. We will be thinking that they are Vaishnavas, but they will be something else. And their Uchishta we take, what will happen? Instead of taking getting the Bhakti Bhav, we will be getting their whatever other things that are there, their minds are, their vasanas, right? So that is also bound to happen. So this is the one biggest problem we have. We are learning, we are genuinely looking forward to surrendering to Guru. But then we are in the Kali Yuga, this problem of fake gurus are there. In the beginning days of Kali Yuga, even before Kali Yuga, of course, this problem was not so much there. You just go surrender to a Guru and they are genuine Gurus. But here, understanding whether a Guru is genuine or not is such a big problem. That's a big question mark. And whether that Guru has to take us from out of the material modes. He has to be out of the material modes. Where can we find a Guru who is out of the material modes? And we ourselves being inside the material modes, how can we find out that person who is outside the material modes? It's a big challenge, right? He may say he's coming in a parampara, following these things strictly, etc., etc. But what is inside the mind, inside the heart? What do they? We hear all these things. Exploitations do happen. How do you? We are going with some faith, but only thing that we keep our faith in is that hopefully means of course definitely Krishna um, uh, he will take care of it ultimately. Ultimately, he will guide us, and he will guide the right guru for us, and he will guide us in the right direction, whatever. So that's the faith we are clinging on to. And Prabhupada is such a pure devotee, and we have experienced him. And so whoever is serving Prabhupada, in whatever way they may be, we should be thankful to them for that way. We are at least, we have that added challenge. But then in Narada Muni's case, they could have driven him off. They could have told that no, you are not qualified. Nowadays, the situation has come to a point that whether the guru is qualified or not. In those days, it was all about if the disciple is qualified or not. That's all, because gurus were default, they were qualified. Isn't it? There was no question asked about a guru. About say a sadhu, saint or sannyasi. Everybody is considered as a nice person only. And they were, of course, with a simple heart. But when the world became more and more and more complicated due to the effect of Kali Yuga, everything is contaminated. All dealings, like what is that shloka? Every dealing is surcharged with faithlessness. Prabhupada writes that, no, in the beginning chapters. In the Kali Yuga, every dealing is surcharged with faithlessness, and thing it is there. I think it is that, not sure if it is Payanal Panas, no, Bhautika Bhavana. Anyway, one of those shlokas, it is there, very, very powerful. So how do we do that? So anyway, that is our challenge. But in case of in case of Narada Muni, the saints, the Bhaktivedanta sages, they allowed him to take their Uchishta, Bhakta Bhakta Avashesh, their remnants, and they allowed him to serve wherever not a little. And by their mercy only he got attachment, taste for the holy names, taste for the Krishna Katha. Otherwise he had no knowledge, anything. For this also he is grateful. And finally they gave him the mantra. For that also he was grateful. Right? So these are all the reasons for feeling of gratitude. Then comes, this is not enough. Then comes the next program point. What is that? After the Bhaktivedanta sages went, what happened? Again they were back to their home. He had no seva. She also didn't have seva, because those sages, they come only during the Chaturmasya time. For those 4 months, they come and stay in that ashram. After that, they go away, the ashram is empty, or maybe someone else might come or whatever. So, but then these sages, they went. So, mother keeping the Narad Muni with him, with her. Then one fine day, she is also leaving the body. She left the body by the bite of the snake. So by the snake bite, she passed away. And here also, that verse is there, isn't it? We discussed about it. Confidential devotees of the Lord are directed by Krishna all timings. Right? See, verse number 1, 6, 10. Here again he is telling, now, when the mother passes away in the middle of the night, milking the cow, right? He says that, I took this as a special mercy of the Lord, who always desires benediction for his devotees. Very, very important reason for being grateful. This is actually a source, another situation which is not at all favorable. But what Narada is telling, when mother passes away, only source of support for him. After she leaves, what will he do? He is not like 20, 30-year-old person who can live on his own. He's hardly 7, 8 years. And Krishna took away the sages. He took away the mother also. Look here, I took this as a special mercy of the Lord. Here again, another reason for being grateful. He is seeing, even in that unfavorable situation, he is seeing reason for being grateful to Krishna. Because that was the last attachment I had. And Krishna took it away also. But now, If Narad Muni's mother had passed away before Narad Muni met the sages, he would not have got this feeling. Agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Very
If he
much.
was ignorant, he would have cursed, he would have shouted, screamed, and whatever. But he got the mercy of the sages. That is why when mother passes away, even in that young age, he feels grateful for her.
Almost. Yes.
Isn't it? So the sequence, look at the sequence of the events also. Right? How amazing Krishna is creating this nice, like a flow of a river, it is going on. While we look at it like, what is this Narada Muni? Yeah, he had done so much bad karma or what, that all these things are coming and attacking him at one go, like that. No, that's the beauty. Bhagavatam, he always teaches us how, in the worst possible situation, how you should be grateful. So when mother passes away, again he feels grateful that Krishna, now I am completely at your mercy. Right? Another reason for gratitude. In between, Swapna Mataji's hand must be paining. Long time she has been raising her hand. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, so should we aspire uh, for the Mahaprasad now? Means whenever some guest speakers come, so we have the desire that if we get Uchishta from them, then because we discussed
We
that.
have to, we have to, but the thing is, it should not be superficial. That's the point I was trying to make. When we are really, really hungry for devotion, when we are really, really respectful to that devotee, then you take. Sometimes what happens is you may not know about that devotee, but it's in an innocent way, devotees, they will come and say, Prabhu, take Maha. You may take, which is fine, right? But
I
then
want to share.
if we simply say, I go around asking for Maha, 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 and then we say, we forget about Bhagavatam, we forget about what the devotee says. The most important thing is not simply taking the Uchishta alone. Why? The reason for taking the Uchishta is to somehow or other attain that same intense of devotional service, the attitude, devotional attitude that devotee has, that Vaishnava has. If we don't have, or somehow or other get a chance to serve them, right? If we take the Uchishta, then we'll develop a natural eagerness to serve them. Or if you take that Bhakta Pada Jala, whatever is washed their feet, right? But the challenge here is, as again I tell you, that Bhakta Pada Jala, we say, one thing is our own respect. We may not have the same respect, right? Second thing is, that person may or may not be having that qualifications. That is why not everybody is washed, feet is washed and all that. In those days it was done. Any Brahmana was a pure Brahmana. But these days, lot of mixture and everything is happening. What do you call that as? Adulteration. Everybody is mixing, and all you have to just put on tilak and kantimala and you can be a devotee. Then we will go around and telling something about Krishna, immediately people will tell something. And they also don't have the eagerness to hear the spiritual instructions. All they want is, please bless me so that I will become a rich man. Please bless me so that I will become very wealthy, or I get all the facilities, and my son is settled, the daughter is settled. These are the blessings that people ask. So genuine devotees may not be around to think. Prabhuji is telling something. Let's see. Even when something bad happens in the past, before coming to Krishna consciousness and after coming to Krishna consciousness, now we think about that bad happening. We feel it's all happened by the mercy of Lord. Otherwise, we cannot come to Krishna consciousness. What all happened by the mercy of the Lord, Prabhu? That bad happening, and the bad incidents. Just want to clarify them. Yes, Prabhu. Not able to hear you, bro. Anyway, we'll come to that point later. Okay, let's move on. What? So Mataji, so is that clear, Mataji? If you really have, the most important thing is a chance to serve Krishna and a chance to serve that Vaishnava. An opportunity to serve that Vaishnava. If these two things are genuinely there in our heart, then we can do that. If you have another, means we are not, so much respect is not there, then it can be an offense also. By taking that water, and sometimes they will take the boga and not wanting to eat, they will keep it aside or whatever. That is, you give it to someone else, right? So a lot of nitty-gritty things are there which you have to be careful about. And the best thing is, okay, to desire a Vaishnava's association, we should serve them, serve their instructions. So serving their instructions is more important than trying to serve their, all the other things that which we are doing there. Those is very nice. Really, it is the most important thing. 3 important things: Bhakta Pada Jalam, Bhakta Pada Duli, and Bhakta Bhakta Avashish. Right. If I mean, like it's like how you go to Radhakund and look at the water and feel, hey, no, I can't put my feet inside. Right? It's a little bit dirty. Yamuna is dirty, like that, When we think like that and enter, then how will you get Yamunaji's mercy? Right? So better when you have that kind of a doubt or things like that, don't do it. From a far distance, you just pay respect, and that's good enough. There are people who do that, like, oh, this devotee is Maha, that devotee is Maha, here. You go around. But when you ask them to sit and do some seva, they will not do. Right? So there are different types of devotees. Krishna blesses them in different ways. But those who are a little bit, having the thinking thing, they should have the, you don't have to worry much about those who are innocent people. They might do so in a certain way. But if I am naturally, bit of my mind is always working, it can be called as mental functioning also. Then we have to be careful not to offend that Vaishnava by disrespecting any of the things. For that person, from far distance, we just pay respects and try to hear more. Because what happens is, most important thing is Adav Shraddha, is a nadi, Adav Guru Ashrayam. No, there, what is it saying? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Right? I forgot the first line, it's a very famous line. Right side. So the Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. When you keep hearing, then you will be established in the spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Then naturally you will be attracted. Once you are attracted and you have that natural attraction towards that personality, that Vaishnava, then these things will be done without any offense. Right? If they give a lot and you can't eat all of them, right? What will you do? This will go waste. Some more, let me eat, give to some. So better take very little, don't, so that you don't waste it, or you don't throw it or things like that. The Spirit Prabhu, he said, bad incident, bad accident, losing our loved ones, suffering insult from relatives. So these are all, what is it that about? I forgot the thread which you're telling. You were asking that question, no? Like bad things are happening in the past that comes. Again, I think we are missing them. They're not able to hear you, Prabhu. We may have to check your mic, or we may have to just drop off and log in again. Maybe we'll hear you. So this is the only one-stop all solution. Okay, let's move on. In the meantime, so
Prabhuji,
now
Suresh
where are
Prabhuji's
we?
question was also very important.
Sorry.
Suresh Prabhuji's question was also very important.
Which question?
That if we serve from the utensil and the prasad from the utensils also, does it also become Uchishta?
No, Mataji, I didn't get you. Like you are putting that prasadam in a utensil. Okay.
We serve from the utensil into the plate.
We serve with the utensil into the plate. Okay.
From the utensil, from the pot, we serve into the plate. So Prabhuji is asking if the leftover in the utensil, in the pot, also becomes the Uchishta. That he was asking.
Okay. You are asking. Yes. Not only from the plate. Whatever is left over in your utensil, that is also Uchishta only. Just like you have Krishna has taken bhoga, no? When you offer, and then in not all the temples they mix it back into the original thing. Or even if they mix it, they cook a fresh set of puris or rotis, then that is also considered as Mahahandi. They don't keep on offering every time they cook. Like you are offering a big batch, like 1,000 puris you are making, right? In batches. First 100 puris, out of that you make bhoga offering to Krishna. So that is taken and it is offered. After that, for the rest of the day, how many more puris you are cooking, that is all considered as Mahavandina. Mahaprasadamandina. It's like that. So that's fine. I think his question is answered also. Okay, so let's move on. One more thing further. So now Narad Muni, mother is passed away. He feels grateful for that. Then he starts walking up the north, goes to the hill, forest, mountains, rivers, and towns, villages, jungles. Everywhere he is going. Right? He goes everywhere. And where does he feel gratitude here? Anybody?
Prabhuji, he touches the water and he feels fresh. One verse. That is also beyond. No?
Before that, is there anything?
A small boy of 5 years, he's moving about without fear.
He sees all the trees and rivers and God's creation, and he feels grateful for that.
Sorry, Mataji, please, voice was a little low. Please come again.
So he was seeing all the rivers and trees and variegation.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. See, when he was traveling everywhere, he could see different forms of Krishna in these things. Forms of Krishna's mercy, right? Everything is a different creation of Krishna. And he experienced that thing one by one. And he was not hesitant to travel anywhere. Like he was even going through thick forests where snakes and other wild animals and all were there. He saw Krishna in all these places. In the sense he was experiencing Krishna, even though he was not specifically. Why was that? Why was he traveling like that? He discussed this point when we were discussing those verses. He was looking for association like that sages whom he met. Remember? That's the reason he was traveling everywhere. Like how Parikshit Maharaj was, after he saw Krishna once, when he came out, he was looking for Krishna in everybody. That is why he became called to be known as Parikshit. Right? He was examining everybody. Krishna, is this the person who saved me? This is the person who saved me. Is this the person? Like that, he was he was trying to match with this original recognition, face recognition he was doing with everybody, with what he saw inside the heart. Right? So like that, Narad Muni also, he was looking for the sages. Where else he was? What else was the reason for him to travel everywhere? They don't have any WhatsApp number or phone or nothing. So he also does not have. He has to go find out in all these places. That's the only thing he could do. Right? Because of that gratitude he had for those sages, he was traveling. Also, that's one of the reasons that main reasons for his travel. So he was actually experiencing Krishna in this whole travel. And then, as finally, as we said, that river, he was thankful to Krishna for giving that river because he's so what is that? He was so tired after traveling all over, and Krishna has given such a nice mercy in the form of river. You cannot get a more purer water than river water. Even this RO, SOT, or whatever that water, it's all nothing in front of river water. Even if the water is dirty in the beginning, if it just by the flow of the water, it becomes pure, isn't it? And so many rocks and trees and so many things comes through, that water itself has the herbal effect. Because they have those trees, the trees and plants or herbs or whatever, they're all grown in the path. So when it carries that whole water, it becomes so tasty. So this whole thing, we should be really, really grateful to Krishna for that mercy. His mercy in the form of the sunlight, moonlight, river, ocean, air, fresh air to breathe. Right. So this is why there is no limit to being grateful for what Krishna has done, because Krishna has not limited his mercy in any way, isn't it? So this again one reason we can say, for another reason for gratitude. Then the rest of the things you already discussed. He sat down and meditated upon, and when he was meditating, Krishna's darshan came. For that he was grateful. And then we went on with the sound and the intelligence about whatever Krishna spoke and all that we already discussed. So this part is what I wanted to write in the group for devotees to meditate on. That would have been a wonderful exercise. But still, anyway, we did it in the class in this discussion today. This is how we should see that one line: feeling of gratitude, feeling a sense of gratitude. I offered my obeisances to him, bowing my head. What are all the reasons for him to offer obeisances to Krishna, in spite of the fact that he disappeared from there? This is what we should. You can prepare a big essay itself for that. And then now we have to go to wonderful that the person, then that supreme authority personified by sound, but and unseen by eyes, but most wonderful. You have to see each of these phrases will take so much time to meditate on. Stop speaking. Feeling a sense of gratitude, I offered my obeisances to him, bowing my head. Right? Then we have to go for the phrases in the purport. How much more is there? This is how Prabhupada's mercy is unlimited. You go dig deeper now, 4-line purport, 2-line translation. That's all. Nothing else. Any questions, comments? Sorry, Piyush Prabhu, I don't know if your mic is back to normal. You are saying some things, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
1 minute, Prabhuji, 1 minute. I think still we are not able to hear you, Piyush Prabhu. Something wrong. I don't know what is an issue. Yes, Mataji.
As for me, I feel, having these senses which we can utilize in the service of Krishna, that itself we have to be so grateful to we are able to hear.
Another beautiful point. Beautiful point. Thank you, Mataji. For
So
that also we have to be grateful. Yes. The senses Krishna has given us, not only the intelligence, the senses to hear. See, this hearing thing is a big problem now. I see our old people, my father, my mother-in-law, I mean, they have to, their hearing thing has come down, and some of them have to put on that hearing aid, and only that they can, hear something. For us, even among devotees also, many of them, they put that plug in the ear when they make loud noise, kirtan and all that. Because as you get older now, our senses tend to become, it is starts to degrade. What do? We can't get a replacement ear or replacement eyes, and the eyesight goes down. I remember, I think some of you might have heard, might have read that message when I put in, I think, in December about my god sister, Grace Anasuya Mataji. She passed away last month, I mean, in the end of December due to cancer illness. So what actually happened was 3 years ago, she had this. They detected this cancer. At that time, it was in stage 4, and she was in US, not here. She's basically they are basically based in US. So the doctor told that you have only 3 months more. This has become too fast thing. It's a stage 4, so nothing can be done about it, because surgery also cannot be done because it's spread in multiple places. If I try to fix in one place, other place it will grow very vigorously. So then he said, I can try to reduce the pain by giving you immunotherapy. They said chemotherapy is also not possible. They said only immunotherapy maybe can give, but that also is not, can't tell much really about it. Then what happened? Actually, Mataji had only one eye working. The other eye was not working. Right from childhood, her one eye was not working. But nobody knew that. There is no symptoms of her only one eye working. She was perfectly normal. So with the one eye, she has been reading the books, doing duty service and everything. And when this doctor gave the immunotherapy thing, her pain reduced a bit, but her eyesight started going down. So when she went to the doctor, she asked, I'm not able to read properly. My eyesight is going down. Then the doctor said it's a side effect of that immunotherapy. And he also said that the cancer lives on that protein cells. The very same protein cells, is required for your heart to function. So if I destroy the cancer cells, that protein cells also will go down. So you need to have some medicines to pick up the heartbeats and heart function. And then every 3-4 weeks, you have to keep doing this therapy because it can, anything can happen anytime. So she said that, so you mean to say that for the rest of the life, I have to be dependent on medicines. But she never takes medicines. Then she said, I can't, I'm okay to die soon, but I don't want to leave my last moment with my eyesight not working, because at least till I'm alive, I want to use this eyes to read Bhagavatam and see the deities. So then she stopped that immunotherapy. She didn't take it anymore. There with all the side effects and all that, I don't want. And she intensified her. This apparently 3 years before they told 3 months only you have to live. You have only 3 months to live. But she stopped all medicines and treatment and everything, and she was only doing chanting and reading. And for the next 3 years, she was perfectly normal. Oversaw. They didn't tell anybody until the last month of her passing away. Nobody knew that she had cancer, but they were going to everybody's home nicely. They were doing nice kirtans. She would cook for 200 people on one go, single-handed. 5 restaurants they were running in the US. Restaurants means takeaway restaurants. and they would cook all day, just few people only. What I'm saying is that these senses are so very important for us, especially to do Krishna consciousness, to our service, that if you are really attached to that seva, that you use that sense for, then you would wish that to be in the last moment. I want to see exactly how she wished she left her body. She was having both Radha Shyam Sundar deities on her chest with Guru Maharaj's picture and Prabhupada's picture, and she was that breathing was there, gazing. So what is that called? They call it as gasping. So when she was gasping, we were all chanting. She was, I mean, amazing consciousness. We have never seen anybody with that consciousness. She couldn't chant. She was lying down. We need 3 people to lift her up, and every 2 minutes she has to change position. So much pain it was. Liver was completely gone. Liver stopped functioning. Her stomach became like stone, you know. And we were continuously reading Bhagavatam, chanting. One day she read the whole 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita sitting in front of Maharaj Samadhi. She was preaching. And then the next day we were starting to read all the prayers of Bhagavatam. And then she would preach, she would share wonderful realizations, amazing realizations she had. And towards the end, she left with all her, with her eyes wide open. She was gazing at the Lord. The Lord came all the way from Chennai to Rajkot in a most miraculous way. We were all amazed. And the day before, the day when before she left, that's when the Lord arrived. But that time, the whole day she didn't even open her eyes. She was completely closed her eyes. And she was just like shaking her head like this, and we were all chanting. Little bit we will stop her to discuss something. She will shout. She can't chant, but very few words only she will speak. So the devotees around, we were all chanting continuously for say 30-40 minutes to chant, and then somebody will ask something, and like minute or two they stop to get something. Then Mataji will loudly shout, "Chant! Don't stop!" Like that she'll shout. That's the only thing she'll say. And then her head will be shaking, and so much pain she was bearing, but she was completely conscious. So, we can't pray to Krishna that, our whatever thing it may be, that we will have to live with that, whatever pain that we have faced. But the only thing we can pray for Krishna, whatever pain I have, whatever state of mind I am, whatever state I am in, at least I should be conscious of you, Krishna, while living your body. That's the most important thing. That we saw that those 2-3 weeks that we spent, we could really feel how, when a person leaving the body, if they throughout their life, they had spent their life only for Krishna and Guru and Prabhupada service. That's when devotees told that actually is one as Mahavishnu Maharaj had told that in one lecture, that if you serve your deities throughout your life, then the deities personally will come to take you back to Godhead. And that's exactly what happened in Mataji's case. We could realize it after that thing, because till the day before they had left the deities, they never leave the deities at anywhere else. They always carry the Radha Shyam Sundar, their deities, from wherever they go. But because this time Mataji was in wheelchair while coming from Chennai to Rajkot, they had to leave the deities in their home with Prabhu's sister's care there. But then once they reached, they were originally planning that they will go and come back. They will take darshan of Maharaj in the Samadhi and come back. But as soon once she reached there, she was like really her health was going down. So there's no question of taking her anywhere else. So the deities couldn't come, and 2 days before that, she was asking in her half-conscious state. She was asking for Radha Shyam Sundar like that. So we didn't know, because from Chennai nobody was coming. Somebody was coming from Bangalore, but somebody has to go give the deities from Chennai to Bangalore. Nobody is available to take the deity from Chennai to Bangalore. So one devotee came from Bangalore to Chennai all the way by bus, and then took the deities from there to back to Bangalore by flight. so that she will reach Bangalore before that other Mataji who was traveling from Bangalore to Rajkot. So it was like a relay, and in between she came, Mataji, first Mataji coming to Chennai and going back to Bangalore. One other devotee had to take the DT from Prabhu's home here in Chennai, because we were all in Rajkot. So one had to take from that house and then deliver them to their airport to the first Mataji. So 4 people are involved in bringing the DT all the way, and they came 17 December evening. They came. At that time, she was completely closed her eyes. So she was asking for it, and we were trying to make her open the eyes, but she was she was literally not so conscious. She was conscious, but she was close in the pain. She was completely in the pain. So she was not able to chant or open her mouth or all that. But the next day morning, that is 18th morning, when she started gasping, that time her eyes were wide open and she was smiling. Devotees who was, I had recorded her last moment, and they were like shocked because they were never seen that. They were shocked to see her smiling, and that smile was very different than the smile that she used to have. This is like completely detached and completely, I am now going back kind of the reason I'm saying this is that one point just came to me. Sorry, I'm just told only some 20% of the thing that we saw and experienced. And senses are so very important. And doesn't mean that we should do anything and everything possible to keep it in them. Who knows? Suddenly, if Krishna has to take one sense away, he can. But all said and done, the most important thing is till whenever Krishna is allowing us to keep the senses intact, we will have to utilize it for Krishna's service. Somehow or other, anytime it can go away. We may be alive, but the senses may not be working. Right? Senses may be working, but the mind may not be working. Who knows? Something. So, thank you, Prabhu Mataji, for patiently hearing that. This is my very, very intense experience we had, myself and Sudarshan. Sudarshan is even more than me because she was doing the night outs to be with Mataji and chanting all night. I was doing the services little bit in between in the night and then during the daytime and all that because I had to run around for getting medicines and arranging other things and all that. But 2-3 Matajis were there taking turns to do night outs for those 3 weeks. So it's amazing how they all experienced a wonderful, miraculous thing. And the effect of this is a lifelong service in Krishna's lifelong dedicated, a life dedicated fully, entire life dedicated fully in Krishna and Guru's service is glorious. It's glorious. It sets an example. She set an example for everyone, for at least the God siblings to follow. She was so much attached to Maharaj Samadhi that she said, that's only my wish. When she heard this thing, she was hardly 57, 60. This thing I detected, she was 57, 3 years, she stayed 60. But very healthy, always inspiring, always smiling and serving. The day she was detected, the doctor told that you have only 1 more month to live. Meet whoever you want to before you leave. The next day, she cooked single-handedly for 200 people for the Govardhan Puja at home in US. So this is how a life dedicated for Krishna's service, Krishna will make sure that faith we should have. How Narada Muni was also doing the same thing. Everything was unfavorable. Everything was unfavorable. But Siddhi, they call it in Hindi, right? That they call it at any cost, I have to do this. They are coming from Chennai to Rajkot itself was a miracle. It is a miracle of the highest order. Miracle in the sense, so much determination she had. She was already in wheelchair. Anything she eats, the whole bile will come out as vomit. The whole thing will come out. This much, exactly this much only she can eat in a whole day, an entire day. And she lived with that food for like that amount of diet for 2 full months. And it was such a miraculous thing. We all were praying because that was our only desire, to see Maharaj one final time in his samadhi. Many times we don't realize the importance of seeing the Guru when he's around, or even after he leaves, about the importance of his samadhi, because he is personally present there. So she used to say that Maharaj talks to me when I sit there in Maharaj samadhi. Maharaj talks to me. I have my questions or thing, he will talk to me. That much faith she had. And when she had that first report of the cancer thing, she first went to Rajkot and chanted in front of Maharaj, and she was praying to Maharaj, please give me the direction. And then she said, I got the direction. I'm not going to take any more medicines. That's it. And then she decided that. So that is the whole thing, It's 26 hours they had to travel from Hyderabad to Rajkot by train in that health condition. And I was intensely praying somehow or other they should reach, because I had to book, because the whole time Indigo flights are cancelled. Exactly those days. They started from Chennai on 4th early morning and they reached Rajkot on 7th evening. Can anybody go through in a normal health also such a long journey? 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 full days. They went to Hyderabad, the flight was cancelled. Chennai to Hyderabad was okay. Hyderabad to Rajkot flight was cancelled. And they had to stay in the airport for 1.5 days in the airport waiting for the next flight. Then I told them, this flight thing will not work now. She might leave there, better you come by train. Then somehow or other we got a train ticket through emergency quota or whatever. And then 6th afternoon, they started from Hyderabad. 7th evening, they reached. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 full days they were there without proper prasadam. They arranged something, but of course, it was totally, mess, totally a mess. But still, she held on to her life somehow or other to see Maharaj. And once she was there, then Prabhu told you, it's now between you and Maharaj. You decide whatever you want to do. You want to be here and die, whatever, or you want to go back, anything is your thing. My responsibility of fulfilling your final desire, whatever, I did it. That's it. No, devotees are glorious. Unfortunately, we don't get to hear about these kind of devotees in the in the open forums. It's all. So I keep telling, purity is essence. There are no reason for being. No, so many people should know about me. Nothing. I just want to be with Maharaj. She told clearly that when I am going to the Samadhi, I don't want anybody around. I don't even want you around. She told her Prabhu also. I don't want you also around. I want to just be with Maharaj. We have lived a whole life together. That's right. I mean, of course, you are my main person in the life, but still, this thing I want to be with Maharaj. So, an amazing preaching she was doing. There's no way we can compare her level of devotion. I mean, I was like, if this is what I should go through to live, I mean, I don't know, I will be in that consciousness, very difficult. The pain, I literally saw closely how much she was going through that pain, and still she was so much intensely remembering Krishna, Prabhupada, and let's stop here. Thank you, Prabhu Mataji's. We had a session. I think we should stop here. Krishna willing, I hope somebody puts that points of gratitude, which really worth meditating on in this section. And then we will see the other parts of the verses as well. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील गुरुदेव जय तपट वैष्णव जय निता गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल वसंत पतितानां पावने और की जय. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's now.